Hello everyone, Coping Skills here, back with another reaction to The Warning. Well, Danny of The Warning, I recently did a reaction to Pow doing Creep from Radiohead, and man, that was awesome. And I got some comments that Danny has done a couple of covers herself, alone on the piano. So we're going to do My Future, a Billie Eilish cover. Let's get to it.
I can't seem to focus, and you don't seem to notice I'm not here. I'm just a mirror. You check your complexion to find your reflections all alone. I had to go. Can't you hear me? I'm not coming home. Do you understand? I've changed my plans, 'cause
Oh man, just want to comment, so beautiful. I love the natural acoustics of the setting. Her on the piano, you can feel a push on the keys, and it's such a great way for artists to evoke more emotion, especially with an instrument like the piano where you can really tell how hard they're pushing the keys. Piano playing takes a lot of touch. She transfers that into the guitar quite easily. Same with Pow doing that Creep Radiohead cover. Alone on the piano, it just brings something special out of artists. And Danny here is no different. You can tell that she's just putting herself in this song completely. She's kind of giving herself to it. And in turn, she's kind of giving it to us and to the song. And the song is really interesting. It's a song about kind of self-reflection and looking at yourself in the mirror and kind of finding what you see, learning about yourself, and personal growth. Those topics are super mental health appropriate. And if you're new to the channel, I'm a licensed mental health counselor, started doing reaction videos to try to raise mental health awareness. So if there's something that pertains to mental health in a song, well, I'll probably give you my perspective on it. And this is no different. I'm not sure where Danny is in her romantic life or even just in her kind of self-discovery life. It's really difficult when people find success really early, especially musicians, because they kind of get pushed out into the public eye. Now, these girls are super fortunate because they have each other to lean on, super grounded. They have their parents to lean on, super grounded, and they're not chasing the greed. They don't have the producers molding them into what they think the public wants. So they don't have a lot of the same pressures that some music artists do, especially the ones that find success as teenagers. However, this road to self-discovery that's in the song here, she probably chose this song for a reason, because it's something that everybody goes through. Everybody has to learn themselves. As we get into this song, just kind of keep that in the back of your head. This is a song about discovering yourself. And from a mental health perspective, I would call it one of those foundational things. Discovering who you are and your identity, it doesn't happen overnight. People think things and feel things and learn things about themselves starting from the day you're born, and it goes until the day that you die. Your identity is always being formed and shifted, and you learn new things. So understanding really the basic nuts and bolts of who you are, well, that's part of growth. And let me tell you, if you dig into the psychology of early childhood development and just human development, well, you can go through Erickson and Freud And there's several theories about how these things kind of develop in a normal fashion. But typically, people don't follow that straight line towards growth. Things get shifted around by a number of different factors. And unfortunately, that brings people into counseling a lot because they can't figure something out about themselves and they want to understand maybe why they've got some blocks somewhere or some hindrances somewhere. And that allows some exploration. And sometimes you can just do that in the mirror. And I think that that's what this song is about.
Hear me, I'm not coming home. Do you understand? I've changed my plans, 'cause I'm in love with my future. Can't wait to meet her, and I'm in love, but not with anybody else. Just wanna get to know myself.
I just have to reiterate, she was really putting herself into this song, and her inflection and her vibrato and the emotions that she's putting into these lyrics, man, it's so beautiful and it's genuine and meaningful. And when an artist can put themselves into a song, especially somebody else's song, and really help you feel the things that are going on, then that gives all of us a chance to kind of lean on their expression and kind of put that in place of our own expression sometimes. And it helps our own emotions loosen up a bit and helps us to be a little bit more vulnerable. But I really love the lyrics of this song because it's a song that is written to an ex romantic partner about taking a step back and seeing a future that doesn't include that person, but it doesn't include somebody else either. This isn't a case of finding somebody new and finding some romance. It's about taking a step back from relationships kind of altogether, looking at your own future, finding out who you are, and falling in love with who you are, looking in the mirror and liking what you see. And that is such an important message. And there's no surprise that Danny here is always singing with a message. But the words here, they ring so true for everybody at some point, and most of us for a long while, because learning who you are and discovering who you are, it takes time and it takes effort. But at some point, every person has to kind of take ownership of who they choose to be, who they want to be, how they treat people, how they treat family, how they treat themselves. And this song is such a beautiful representation of taking some time to look inside, to love yourself, to find out what makes you tick, and to put that as your future. You know, I got some good advice from a friend's dad when I was growing up, and we were discussing how to find the right partner in life, the right romantic partner. In my case, the right girl. And his advice was you have to know where you're looking, in what basic direction you're looking, and you have to know how fast you're moving in that direction. And the trick is to find somebody who really fits with you long term as a spouse, is to find somebody who's moving in that same direction and about the same speed, because you don't want to get into a situation where you're looking at completely different things and you have different goals. Well, then, you're going to end up diverting. And even if you're looking at the same goal, if you're moving at really different speeds, well, somebody is going to end up really pulling the other one behind them. And that's not the healthiest marriage either. So if you're in that situation where you're looking for a spouse, or maybe somebody asks you, hey, what do I do in this situation? Well, I think that is pretty solid advice. However, it does take one thing before you can apply that advice at all. You have to know where you're looking, and you have to know how fast you're going. And to do that, you need to look in the mirror, and you need to give this song some time to sink in and find yourself and love yourself and be confident of who you are, I would say, before, well, you're ready for any long-term romantic relationship.
Just wanna get to know myself. I know supposedly I'm lonely now. No, I'm supposed to be unhappy without someone. But aren't I someone? Like to be your answer, 'cause you're so handsome, but I know better than to drive you home, 'cause you'd invite me in, and I'll be yours again, but I'm in love with my future, and you don't know how. And I'm in love, but not with anybody else. Just wanna get to know myself.
What a soulful rendition of that song. And look at that $1 million smile. She was really putting herself into that, and it was just beautiful. I think it means so much when an artist is just really able to connect so well with the audience, like Danny does in the song. It's really heartfelt. You can tell it's really soulful, and her vocals were really just majestic, just beautiful. She was going up high, she was going low, she was staying in this soulful, kind of sultry zone. Oh, just beautiful. Thank you guys so much for listening with me, and thank you for the recommendation. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. Maybe leave a like and a comment of what you'd like me to react to next from The Warning. And if you want to support the channel even more, well, there's a link to buy me a coffee in the description of the video, where you can show support there, or where you can buy a priority song request if there's something that you really want me to react to, or you can even schedule some one-on-one time with me. But something will probably pop up here you can click on, and keep listening, and we will see you on the next one.